Local Government Council Chairman on Rural Development. President Muhammadu Buhari demands transparency, accountability from newly incorporated Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited. Ahead of 2023 general elections, zoning under threat as stakeholders continue to disagree. A very happy new year to you, and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. I am Achibon Ross. The Cross River State Governor, Professor Ben Ayade, has charged local government council chairmen in the state to ensure the trickle-down development to the people in the rural areas. The governor gave the charge during his first meeting with local government chairmen in 2022. Paul Abel reports.
In 2021, the Deputy Governor, Professor Ivara Esu, and the Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Stella Odeegbo, went round the 18 local government areas to assess the performance of the chairmen on how they have brought development to their domain. Therefore, this meeting of the governor with local government chairmen, which was held behind closed doors, is to reel out the results of the tour and commend those who perform excellently. The Secretary to the State Government and the Local Government Commissioner speak on the outcome of the meeting.
The report shows that they have done so well. They have, these projects, as you know, our governor, his idea is to impact on the humanitarian section of governance. And that's what they reported to us today. So he's charged them to do that, and they came today and they have said what they did. And the people who went to supervise and assess it have given them marks. In fact, I think they scored over 90%.
He's a humanitarian governor. Reasons why he's charging the chairman to equally be humanitarian in their deeds. He has asked that they return back, they try to relate with people, they try to embark on several empowerment projects, to be able to trickle down development to the rural populace, which of course was very much welcomed by all the chairmen in council today.
Being a new year, we have to call ourselves together and chart a way forward. That's what transpired in the meeting here. In fact, we actually assess our past records as far as last year is concerned. Our past work, the work we did in our respective local government area, especially the jobs that have impact on the people, especially the rural populace.
Chairman of Ecom Local Government Council, Kingsley Egumi, was adjudged Best Performing Chairman, followed by Boniface Eraye of Ubudu Local Government and Fabian Ogbechi of Yala Local Government Council. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
As the 2023 general elections draw near, the issue of zoning is once again central and, as usual, contentious. Cross River State, as an entity of Nigerian polity, has similar peculiarities as agitations for and against zoning is still very contentious. Maureen Leo Ajam felt the pulse of residents on these agitations in Cross River State.
Research shows that intricacies associated with people's position on the zoning of leadership positions have not changed, whereas most respondents reasoned that zoning was prescribed as a panacea to the country's problems. But in the face of ambition, this concern is viewed to always been jettisoned, and the polity becomes excessively heated.
1999, as you admitted, no zoning. South and North contested. South won. 2007, Central and North contested. Central won. Is it not inevitably clear that by 2015 there will be a no contest? Because it is only the North that is left. Inevitably, understandably. No more, no less.
Others say zoning has proven to be a limitation in terms of quality delivery of democratic dividends to Nigerians.
Democracy is for everybody. It's not for a specific group of persons. We may have a better candidate from other parts, but because of zoning, we just have to take it to a place where we don't have a better person that will lead us well. The way the state is, nobody is happy about the state. What we want is a candidate that will represent us well.
My opinion is that the governorship should rotate and come back to where it's supposed to be. This turn is for the south. Let the governorship go to the south. I believe in zoning.
We look at the aspirants, look at who has a plan that is workable. Yeah, even for this country and even for the states. Yeah, if we look at somebody, we feel that this person can assist, can bring back the economy to what we expect. We should look at that. This zoning thing is not giving us the best.
Concerned Nigerians, however, called for the choice of leaders with requisite competence to handle the challenges of security, economy, be sincere to the people, and unite the country beyond the limitation of religion and ethnicity. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
The Defense Headquarters has noticed with dismay the habit of wearing military uniforms by some politicians for electioneering campaign posters. In a statement, the acting director, Defense Information, Air Commodore Wap Maigida says campaign posters of some governors dressed in military camouflage uniforms are displayed in their respective states. This, the acting director, Defense Information noted, is illegal and an abuse of the privilege of allowing civilians wear military uniforms during military training exercises. The Armed Forces of Nigeria, as a professional institution, remains apolitical and would not want to be dragged into any form of political bias. The statement advised politicians to desist from the use of military uniforms for political events and other engagements, stressing that anyone found culpable will be liable to prosecution. The people of Cross River State are optimistic of a robust economic outlook in 2022, hoping that the state governor's budget of conjugated agglutination, if well executed, will yield positive results. A cross-section of the people stated this in a vox pop conducted by NTA News crew. Justina Etam reports.
The Cross River State Governor, Ben Ayade, had on the 31st of December 2021 signed the 2022 budget into law. This budget estimates, he says, will enable him complete key projects that will add value to the state's economy. Since the signing of this document, mixed reactions have continued to trail the 354.5 billion naira budget for the 2022 fiscal year.
In that budget, I think there are going to be an opportunity to open other revenue centers in Cross River State that will add color, especially the ongoing industries and all that. How can they make them to become viable? By the time they become viable and capable, they'll be able to generate money that can fund the budget.
I see a focus on making sure that our industries, the industries that are litter around Cross River State are fully completed and possibly duly handed over to very willing Cross-Riverians who are ready to take those industries to the next level.
For some Cross-Riverians, assenting to the appropriation bill is a laudable step, but much is required to ensure that the budget is properly implemented for the people to reap its benefits.
The governor, who is the chief executive officer of the state, wants to finish strong. He wants to finish strong in the sense that all his projects, industrialization projects want to be completed, and if you look at the budget has addressed that area seriously.
We should be mindful of making sure that there should be fiscal discipline in implementing this budget.
The people are hopeful that the state's budget for the 2022 fiscal year will accelerate economic growth, create job opportunities, and enable the state government to fix some establishments that were destroyed during the NSAS protest. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
And although the federal government has taken steps to address the needs of persons with disabilities, this category of persons persistently face stigmatization, discrimination, and barriers to accessing basic social services and economic opportunities. To tackle these in Cross River State, government enacts the disability law to safeguard the rights of persons with disabilities. Maureen Liu Ajom understands that the All Progressives Congress also includes special persons position at all APC leadership in Cross River State to set the ball in motion.
This 13-year-old Charity Basi Ubi is a disabled girl. According to her father, was born normal and became ill at the age of 7. Since then, Charity could not walk again and could not go to school as well because of her parents' inability to purchase a wheelchair. She is one of the thousands of disabled persons finding life difficult either because of the socioeconomic situation in the country or the inability of parents to provide for their basic needs. With the presentation of this wheelchair, Charity is back to school.
Start from voters
Thank you,
registration
Daddy.
exercise.
Thank you,
Please,
Mommy.
please make
Thank
sure
you,
that we have our members and make sure that all of them
for
are
giving
carrying
me
members.
wheelchair.
They have APC.
The wheelchair I bought, the first wheelchair I bought, that one, since that one spoiled, because I have 3 of them, so I can't afford the wheelchair, including for the sisters and brothers.
Are we getting me now?
So since I have wheelchair now, she will start school.
The office of the Special Leader All Progressives Congress Cross River State also presented crutches to other disabled persons. The office is also calling on spirited Nigerians to support them to enable other disabled persons' needs to be addressed.
To give to somebody, a young girl of about 11 years from Yakol local government who has stayed away from school, not because of her making, but because she didn't have a means to roll herself to school. Today, we are going to make a difference in the life of that young girl.
Care for special people is what we ought to do as human beings. And that is what our party has demonstrated today.
Persons with disabilities face difficulties accessing basic services such as education, health, public transport, and social safety net. These challenges, among others, compound their vulnerability, especially during this COVID-19 era. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
You are watching news reaching you from the studios of NTA Calabar. You can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at YouTube/NTA Calabar. Let's go take some commercials. We will be back shortly with more reports. Good to have you back. President Muhammadu Buhari, Friday in Abuja, urged the board of the newly incorporated Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, to ensure strict compliance with corporate governance principles that place premium on doing business with the highest ethical standards, integrity, and transparency. Inaugurating the board chaired by Senator Margari Chuba Okadibo, the president charged them to focus on profitability and operate at par with its industry peers across the world. The president reminded the board members that they came on board as a result of the reforms put forward by the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, which seeks to reposition the Nigerian petroleum industry to a commercially viable and competitive industry in line with global business dynamics and best practices. President Buhari directed that there should be full alignment and synergy between NNPC Limited, the upstream regulatory commission, and the midstream and downstream regulatory authority in compliance with the provisions of the law in all respects to deliver the onerous reforms envisaged for the energy industry. While thanking the leadership and members of the National Assembly for their seamless support in the journey towards a viable, accountable and transparent energy industry, the President said he would count on the professional insights and ethical conduct of the board members to ensure the delivery of his administration's promises to Nigerians. In his remark, the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Siripriya Silva, said under the present administration, a lot has been achieved in the petroleum industry, including the signing of the Petroleum Industry Act, the registration of the NNPC Limited as a Kama company, and inauguration of the board of the NNPC Limited. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NNCDC, has confirmed 791 new cases of COVID-19 as at 6th January 2022. The statistics show that Lagos records the highest number of 523 cases, followed by Federal Capital Territory with 84 cases, Oyo 48, Ondo 35, Kano 22, Borno 16, Delta and Edo recorded 15 cases each, Ogun 9, Jigawa 7, Bauchi 6, Plateau 5, Rivers 4, while Bayelsa recorded 2 cases. The total number of confirmed cases of the virus in the country stands at 246,195, in which 217,509 persons are treated and discharged, while 3,066 persons could not survive the disease. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has secured a total of 2,220 convictions across all its commands in 2021. The figure, which emerged from a review of the Commission's performance in the outgone year, shows that the Lagos Command of the agency recorded the most convictions, followed by the Ibadan Command, while the Port Harcourt Zonal Command came third. A statement by the head of Media and Publicity, Wilson Uwajerin, says this is the highest conviction since the inception of the EFCC. Commenting on the performance, the executive chairman of the commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, commended the personnel for their dedication despite the challenges of criminal prosecution in court. He assured that the EFCC will continue to motivate all categories of staff for greater efficiency through capacity development and other incentives. And now to sports updates. Let's join our sports desk for the latest in the world of sports.
Nigeria High Commissioner to the Republic of Cameroon, Ambassador Abayomi Olonishakin, has urged the Super Eagles of Nigeria to go all out to win the 2021 African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. The ambassador stated this when he played host to the team at the Nigerian Embassy in Cameroon. The three-time African champions, who had their first training session in Cameroon on Thursday, are looking to open their campaign with a march against the Pharaohs of Egypt on Tuesday, the 11th.
So we are praying and we are wishing that the preliminary matches that you will start on the 11th of January, that you will be able to go through it.
As part of efforts to further ensure that Nigerian athletes compete free and clean, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development on Friday in Abuja, organized a one-day anti-doping seminar to further sensitize the coaches and officials on the need to adhere strictly to prohibited substances as listed by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA.
Trying to make sure that anything that is that has got to do with doping is eradicated totally from our sport, and there's a clean sport in Nigeria.
Everyone involved, athlete officials, knows the line, know what to do, and must have to do it.
And finally, Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter, received a pat on the back for its role in sports development in the state and Nigeria in general. This is coming as the association presented an award to renowned cleric, scholar, and owner of Sharfuddin Patriots Football Club, Professor Sabitu Ariyu, in recognition of his immense contributions to the development of sports at the grassroots. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
And that is the size of our package for tonight. But before we go, let's take a quick look at some of the stories that made the headlines. The state governor, Ben Ayade, has tasked local government council chairmen in the state to ensure the trickle-down development to the rural communities. President Muhammadu Buhari has demanded transparency and accountability from the newly incorporated Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited. We also told you that reactions have continued to trail the call for zoning as 2023 general elections draw near. Thank you so much for staying there. To have a good evening.